how did you get into this field of work in the first place?
Well, I feel so blessed. I knew I wanted to make a difference in the world. I remember, in high school, just saying to myself, God, there's got to be more to life than this. And there, in some ways, it just seemed, I grew up in the city of the angels. I'm talking about Los Angeles. People racing around, there's so much stress, you could cut it with a fork. And, I knew that I wanted my life to better other people. And so, this has been such a blessing for me. It was actually my tennis teacher who turned me on to acupressure. He was telling me about it, and I was so skeptical. I was like, come on, give me a break. Yeah, acupressure can do this and can do that, and you hold little spots on the body, and all this miraculous stuff will happen. I mean, give me a break. I was skeptical, but I learned the points. I tried it out on myself, on my family, and my friends, and I just kept working with it. And it's just amazing what you can do. Now, look, I want you to know that you mentioned a lot of symptoms. And if somebody has a medical condition, they should see a doctor. Acupressure is not a substitution for medical care. But, sometimes it's a fine line, because if there is a symptom or a condition, let's say something like asthma, where, if you have asthma and you're under stress and your asthma gets a lot worse, or your allergies get a lot worse because you're under stress, or your menstrual cramps get a lot worse. Well, what acupressure does is it relaxes you. I don't know if you can tell, but I feel relaxed. I feel so great. And, it's a combination of a lot of things. But, we need so much to be able to counteract our stress and our muscular tension, and acupressure does that. And as it does that, it increases circulation and it promotes healing. So, one of the things that I know that you and I want to do, Steve, is to show the public specific examples of this and not just talk about it.
Absolutely.
I brought my trusty little acupressure dots to show you exactly where the points are located and what they're good for. And we'll go step by step into various examples so you can learn acupressure. That's why I'm so excited about it.
I hear a lot of complaints about headaches or some kind of pain in the body. And, this, from what my own research and experience, was this point in the hand right here.
Right.
Is that a point that you work with regularly?
Well, I'm gonna put the point right on here. Yep. So the answer is yes. And this is an excellent point to know. It's such an easy spot to press. This is the fourth point on the large intestine meridian. Now, what does that have to do with anything? First of all, when you apply pressure here, this acupressure point is, so look on yourself. What I want you to do is to simply, I'm showing this point, and then all of a sudden, bingo, that thing,
it made you disappear.
You never know in life. Things are delicate sometimes, especially technology.
Yeah. So I don't think it's going to make you invisible, but it's a powerful point.
Well, what this point does is it opens up the descending flows, the energy that goes down the body. So if you have a headache, and it's all blocked up in here, this point, by pressing it, whether you use your fingertips like I am now, or you use your thumbs, then either way. Now, what I was about to show you was what I find the most effective is to try this. Put your fingers here and then put your thumb here so that you're like this. This gives the best angle for pressing the point in between my thumb and index finger using my thumb like this. And what I'm doing is I'm squeezing in with my thumb. Now, what this does is it helps to relieve pain in the head. So it not only relieves headaches, but I use this point if I'm in the dental chair and I have to get work done, or I have a minor cavity. Instead of taking Novocaine, I press this point. Now, I not only do that, I not only press this point, but I also take long, slow, deep breaths in conjunction with holding this point. So it's, I'm doing two things at once while the dentist is, doing his or her thing in my mouth. So now for headaches, you can also, we kind of do this naturally. Okay, where am I? Go ahead, feel your eyebrows right here and go straight across into this flat area. When you press into it, you can feel this is the temples, and it's there's a dip in here. You see, and I usually use my two fingers, and when you press in and you rotate, oh man, it feels great. Now this is where a lot of mental stress occurs. And there's acupressure points, and the Meridian is actually the triple warmer. There's 12 different meridians. Meridian is a channel of human electrical energy that connects the acupressure points. That's why one point releases another. Because, and that's certainly true here. This point is not only going to affect the hand, so it is an anti-inflammatory point and good for arthritis. But it's a trigger point for the head. Why? Because when you press this point, it triggers a beneficial message into the brain. Why? How? This is on the large intestine meridian. Large intestine meridian, as I said, is a channel of human electrical energy, and it runs where I'm showing you. It goes through the gums. That's why it's good for toothache. It's good, and then it goes into the frontal lobes of the brain. So you can see that one point can affect this entire area. Even if you have elbow pain, we would use this point. Shoulder pain, the side of the neck, we use this point. And you never know, why the hell does this one point work for so many things? And why do they call it a trigger point? Because it's on a meridian. The meridian is a channel of human electrical energy that connects all of these areas of the body.
Yeah, thank you for explaining that.
That explanation would be able to actually kind of bring things together. And that's why just one acupressure point can help so many things.
Yeah, absolutely. And, explaining it like that just really gives us the knowledge that we need to actually put it into play, because, knowledge is power. And a lot of times, if you just Google acupressure or whatever, you see the points, but if you don't really understand how they work, then you just don't have the faith that it takes to, to kind of do this practice when you need to.
Well, I've been around the block because I've been doing this for way over 45 years. I started when I was 20 years old. The math is really quite easy because now I'm over 65 and I don't feel it, believe me. I just feel so great. And I think, it's not just acupressure. I think it's part of, lifestyle and a way of thinking and all that. Acupressure combines so well with so many different things. And I'm not a purist, honestly. I believe in the combos, and that's a part of holistic health, looking at the whole body, the whole picture, diet, exercise, and acupressure. What you eat is very important. Your exercise, and before I went on, one of the reasons I'm a little bit late is I exercised really hard. And then immediately afterwards, I took a nap. I'm being completely honest with you.
That's awesome.
I took a nap, and thank God my wife woke me up. Now, it's this idea of balance. I exercise, that's activity, so strongly that afterwards I believe that it's important to deeply relax. It's the same thing is true with acupressure. After an acupressure treatment, after an acupuncture treatment, after psychotherapy, after a chiropractic treatment, you should deeply relax and actually encourage yourself to take a little nap. This can make a huge difference in all of these therapies, and people don't know that. Now, why? Why am I recommending this? Why do I know this works? Because when you deeply relax, the energy in your body flows. You see, acupressure is all about energy flow. The points, the acupressure points, are the places where the energy gets blocked. And when you touch them in just the right way, and when you press them in just the right way, it enables this energy to flow. But that's not good enough. That's not the whole picture. In chiropractic, in psychotherapy, there are a whole different approach to getting the energy to flow. But that's not good enough. You've got to let that energy find its balance. And when you use deep relaxation, the energy will find its place. And there'll be a new balance that'll take place within your body deeply. And that's deep healing.
Wow.
It's a process.
Yeah, that's excellent.
It's really important to understand that, to know that, and to try it out. Because, so many people don't know that. And even the therapists and the many of the holistic doctors, they don't know that important principle to tell their patients. Now that you know and understand that, you're going to get your money's worth, no matter who you go to. But you've got to do it for yourself.
Yeah, that's so true. And I love that you really embrace the teacher aspect of healer, because that's one of the things that I feel is really missing in a lot of, well, definitely in the medical model, but just in modern healing systems, is you get treated and sent home rather than treated, educated, and kind of taught how to take care of yourself a little bit.
Absolutely. So. That's what bonds you and I is in our hearts. We know that, it's knowledge. Knowledge is power. And if you understand the body and you can go with it, it just makes a huge difference. And I so appreciate your dedication to wanting to help people become more educated and understand and know themselves better so that they can live a better life and be more healthy and radiant.
Excellent. Thank you for that. So now with acupressure specifically, is this something that, maybe we should find a practice that works and do it every day, or how often?
That's ideal. That's ideal. That's ideal with exercise. I mean, a lot of people go, "Oh, exercise, I can lose weight with exercise. Okay, I'll exercise once and see if it works." It's like, come on, give me a break. That was silly, what I just said. Well, the same thing is true with acupressure. Just do it once and press the point, and it should work for the rest of your life. Otherwise, acupressure doesn't work. That's silly. That's not how you do it. You've got to do it, either every morning. You don't have to do it every morning. Like this point here, even just that one point and relying on that one point. This point after a while can get sore. What you want is balance in your body. And so we want a variety of different points to obtain that balance and to do it over time. And so one of the things that I think you're getting at is not only relieving, let's say, the headache with this point, but also to be able to prevent it. Like my wife often says, when she's about to get a headache, she says, I feel like I'm getting a headache. Well, she also says, I feel headachy-ish. I don't know if that's a proper English, but it means it's coming on. When it's coming on, it's time to do acupressure.
Wow.
You know when a cold is coming on. And that's when you need to do these points in here. But what I'm doing right now is a little bit superficial. What I would do is curve your fingers like this. You see, it's like the shape of a hook. And then not only go right on the top of the shoulder, but see what I'm doing here with this hand? I'm reaching back and going in here like this and squeezing. So, okay, with my fingers curved, I'm actually using the weight of my arm and slowly hooking into these points. Why am I showing these points? Because you can relieve shoulder tension. But also what you might not know is that these shoulder points are where your body can become more adaptable. And when you're about to get a cold or a fever, if you're holding these points for a minute or 2 or 3 minutes, it can help to prevent a cold from coming on. And that's the reason why I wanted to show you this point here. Now there's a point here, there's a point here, and this whole area is where the trapezius muscle, which is a huge, gigantic muscle that tends to tighten up so. And by hooking in like this, right here, and hooking, remember? Because what we tend to see that's using body mechanics so that it's easy. You're able to just relax your hand down, your arm down, and that presses the point.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Wow, I've got tons of value out of this already.
Here's something that's really exciting, which is that in acupressure, there are certain points that release each other. Okay, for a better word, I'll call them point combos. To release this, I'll press an acupressure point. I'm going to just put this golf ball right on where the point is, right here. Now this point is from the top of my shoulder. Okay, here's my shoulder bone. Feel it on yourself right here. It's bony. Okay, and draw a line all the way along your shoulder seam to where your armpit is. Okay, just draw a kind of curved line there. A third of the way down is a wonderful point to know, and it will relieve. Well, you go like that. You press and press and press and goes, oh, I don't feel it. But if you were to press here and press in toward your spine, ooh, I feel sore. When I press in toward my spine, that gets the point. So acupressure points, just like I showed you with this, to get the point really well, effectively, is what I mean by well. There's angles of pressure that's needed. So you go and get an acupressure point book, And you see the dot, shows you the point, but you don't see the angle of the pressure. That's why now I'm actually sending people series of videos so that I can show them the angle of the pressure. Now I got to go back to this point, because this point, so many of you either know somebody who has shoulder bursitis, rotator cuff, just problems moving your shoulder. It just hurts, or it clicks, this point will take care of it. But the reason I showed you this point is also that it releases these points in here. So this point here releases these points here. And then there's not only point combos, there are point formulas to learn. In a couple of weeks, I'm going to be showing people not only the point combos. Well, first I'll show you 60 acupressure points. Then I'm going to show you point combos, and then the point formulas. So you can really learn how to do acupressure effectively on yourself and others.
Wow, that's excellent.
Yeah.
Because, you don't just get the information, like you said, from a book, but having the videos, you kind of get that one-on-one feeling of working with a teacher.
You can get a lot of information from a book, but it's not like having a teacher who's showing you these angles of the pressure and showing you the various levels of healing energy and so forth. I mean, there's so much to it. It's not just, bing, I press a point. It's not like just, oh, there's acupressure. That's not how it works.
So yeah, I could see this actually being of a lot of value, not just to the healthcare quote consumer, but also to the healthcare practitioners. Maybe those folks who are doing massage already, or other healthcare treatments. To be able to add this in to work with people, I think would be extremely valuable.
Exactly. And let's say somebody does Reiki, which is whole hand healing energy, channeling the energy, which is lovely and very good. But a lot of Reiki practitioners, as an example, don't know that they can hold the points and channel this life force through the points. The points conduct the energy, and thus they're actually utilizing all the information in traditional Chinese medicine hands-on. But like in psychotherapy, your client will realize all kinds of things about their trauma, or about their relationship with their wife or their husband or their brother, or something that happened. And these are important things, and psychotherapy is valuable in and of itself. But when you combine it with self-acupressure and you show your clients how to balance the energy, it lasts longer. You see, I want you to know that in China, acupressure was considered the people's form of therapy because it combined well with all other forms of therapy and of helping others, and helping yourself. So, just for instance, the points are being stimulated in yoga postures. The points are being stimulated when you instinctively do something. I mean, if you're getting a headache, sometimes you'll just do this, and you'll just hold like that. Well, there's acupressure points right in here. You can feel them. Go ahead. Take your thumb and index finger and press up onto the sockets of your eyes. Now, if you do it too hard, too fast, it's just going to hurt, and not hurt really good. You just want to do it correctly. Go in slowly, because these points are very powerful. Now, this is the second point right here on the bladder meridian. Now, the bladder meridian circulates through the back and through the buttocks, the lower back. So all of these points, and then the meridian then goes down through the backs of the legs into the ankles. So you could stimulate points on your ankles, even on your calf, and help to begin releasing your back pain and your chronic back tension. Why? Because it's on the same energy pathway called the meridians. I used to take a weekend to show people the meridians. My students would actually be overwhelmed. I think, oh goodness, it's a lot of information in Chinese medicine. You know what I'm doing now? I'm taking over a year to take people through all 12 meridians.
Wow.
I spend one entire month for each meridian, and people are getting it. And I'm talking about hundreds of people all over the world are being able to learn these channels. And of course, the most important points that are on these meridians. See, the meridians connect with the internal organs and with the glands of the body, with the lymph system, the cardiovascular system, the endocrine system, the digestive system, the sexual reproductive system. All systems of the body are unified and fed by this healing energy that flows through the meridians.
Wow.
So when I say meridian therapy, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, totally.
And meridian therapy is what acupressure is based on in traditional Chinese medicine.
And how long has traditional Chinese medicine and the knowledge of the meridians, how long has that knowledge been used?
Well, when I say it's ancient, it's documented over 5,000 years. And, a lot of people, I'm a well-known author in acupressure, but I don't take the credit. I learned all this from the ancient Chinese. It was further developed in Korea and Japan, and there's Thai massage, which is, there's Thai massage, if you do it slowly and consciously with awareness, can be very healing and stimulate all these points. But most people, for instance, practice shiatsu and Thai massage way too fast. Slow down. You move too fast. You got to make the moment last.
Love it.
I mean, really, when you have something precious, like a relationship, like another human being, do you rush around with him or her? No, you should take time and be there. It's a sacred time to be in the present moment with this healing energy and with this other person. It's all the same thing.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, I really feel inspired to learn this myself, just for my own family's sake. It seems that it would add so much value, because I know that a lot of people, heck, we're surrounded by people who are using a medication for any one of these issues that we've mentioned. And I know, that this is not a replacement for medical intervention or anything like that. But if you could manage your own pain and stress, but with this type of self-care, that's got to be a better alternative than taking a foreign substance into your body to manage the pain. And we know these other, pharmaceuticals obviously have, side effects and, dangerous interactions. So
it's so valuable, and it's so real to learn the acupressure points. I'm thinking right now, there's been times in my life where I did the acupressure, it helped, but I still needed help from somebody else.
But I did put a link in the top of the post. It's really easy to remember. You can type it in if the link is not accessible for whatever reason. But it's revisit healthcare /Michael. And that is going to take you to a page right where you can get access to his videos. But Michael is back, so we can pick up where we left off. And there you are. That's the glory of live video. You never know what's going to happen.
Do we have one more minute? Can I show one more point?
Yeah, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, this point is so amazing, and it's right in the middle between your nose and your lip. Actually, it's a little bit higher. If you drew a line from your upper lip to your nose, it's 2/3 of the way up. Press into your gum firmly, and it will center you. Children should know this. Adults should know this. If you ever have an allergy or hay fever, you press here firmly. Look, I'm an old guy, so I used to watch Johnny Carson. He used to press this point. Sometimes he would do it with his thumb. Sometimes he would do it with his pencil. Sometimes he would do it with this index finger. When he would forget his jokes, this is good for memory, for forgetfulness. Acupressure not only relieves tension, it actually benefits your mind. Headaches, this point. If you ever feel dizzy, for whatever reason, press this point and hold it for a minute or two to center yourself. It's right in the center. You'll remember this the rest of your life. It's a great point to know. And try it for all kinds of things. It's really amazing.
Did you say if you feel dizzy?
If you feel dizzy, this will center you. It's the center point.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
If you have a nosebleed, it's really, your nose is right there. It's going, a lot of time people take a little wad of whatever, like a tissue or whatever, put it underneath here, and that presses the point. I mean, they didn't know that that's what they're doing, but it does work.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It also works if you have imbalances eating. This same point. There are so many applications with acupressure for your sex life, for your emotions. If you've been hurt or abused, acupressure can help you. I wrote a whole volume on it. It's called Acupressure for Emotional Healing. There's certain points that are good for trauma, or if you tend to worry or you tend to be angry, there are certain points for that. Most people who even know acupressure and know this point, they don't know these things. But I would love to share them with you. And you can do it for yourself as well as for your family, your friends, for others. And as you said, if you're a health professional, my goodness, whether in hospice, you take care of people, you're a chiropractor. Chiropractic in China was always used with acupressure. It makes the adjustments last longer, and so forth.
Wow. Wow, this is so valuable to know. Okay. So, yeah, I want to respect your time and everything. So, is there anybody who maybe shouldn't do acupressure, or are there any points, that specific people should avoid, anything like that?
Well, we should say that because we showed this point, it is traditionally forbidden during pregnancy. So I'm not having that problem. I'm not having that situation right now. But if you think that you are pregnant, you shouldn't stimulate the point. Why? Because I mentioned this in the beginning of the program. It opens the flows of energy to go down the body. It's what we call the descending flows. So it can open. Now, if you are ready to have your baby and you want to smooth the contractions and ease the delivery, press the point. It's a great point to know. You see, there's so many important points. This is an antihistamine point. It's an acupressure point that relieves pain. So just this one point, And I can show you, like 12 or 20 other points that can, for the rest of your life, you'll be empowered to be able to help yourself and others.
Yeah, this is so valuable because I'm thinking of so
I
many
feel
people.
so blessed to know it, and my aim and my whole purpose of life is to share it. And what I'm doing is I'm doing it online now. So people, if they want to contact me through acupressure.com, and acupressure spelled ACU, and then pressure, acupressure, ACU, and then pressure.com. And then when you go there, go to the upper left-hand corner and you'll see online trainings. Click on that button and you'll see my most valuable programs where I'm actually teaching you in your living room. So you don't have to travel and pay for hotels and all kinds of things. You can just, and it's on your own time because it's online. You can get the acupressure video instruction whenever you're ready, whenever you want. It's just so convenient. It's just, so many hundreds of people are really getting it. And I just thought I would share it with you so that maybe you want to consider it.
Excellent. And that's the glory of this digital age where you can get this kind of training without even leaving your house, and you can, treat yourself without leaving your seat. I love it. I'm really excited as to where this is going. This is the future of healthcare. Uh, Michael, real quick, last thing before we go. Thank you for sharing how to get access to your trainings and everything. Now, going forward, I'm trying to create kind of a shared vision of a more evolved and kind of enlightened healthcare system. So, what's your vision of healthcare in the next, say, 20 to 50 years?
Well, my vision is that the methods of self-treatment will be taught really well and will be used because it makes people feel better, it makes people healthier, it increases the circulation, it balances the body, and it'll have an important, potent part of our lives. And then doctors won't be as stressed out. They'll be able, when you really need them, they'll be there for you. They'll be more present for you. I mean, right now we rely on them and on medications, and it's imbalanced. The system is imbalanced, and it's not good for anybody. So I see self-treatment and self-care, education, and practice. That people will be teaching each other more, and there will be more the use of video technology and on the internet. And I think that doctors will more and more support this because it's an adjunct to medical, to health. And, if somebody is, if their nervous system is, and neuromuscular system is in balance, and you can do some self-care, and let's say you still need a physical therapist, or you need medical intervention. You may still need muscle relaxants. It depends upon what your doctor says. I so trust and appreciate the wisdom and the knowledge that doctors have. I just see, Steve, that holistic health, and such an important part of holistic health, hasn't blossomed in its fullness yet, and that's self-treatment and self-care.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think it's awesome that people like you are keeping this wisdom alive. For instance, something like traditional Chinese medicine, people have been using for 5,000 years, and it would be a real shame if that wisdom was lost to the future. So thank you for what you're doing, and
Oh, it's going to blossom.
it's going to blossom, right?
It's not going to get lost. It's just not. I mean,
Excellent.
it's been around for 5,000 years. It hasn't gotten lost yet.
Right.
And, now is the time because of you, people like you. That's why I wanted to be on this show, is because of your heart and your vision. I really love, how you see holistic health, and how it's such an important part of life, living, and also how it fits in with Western medicine. So I want to thank you so much for having me and for your vision and what you're doing on your website.
Thank you, Michael. I appreciate you saying that.
I
Okay,
mean,
well, is there anything before we let you go? Anything I didn't ask, anything we didn't cover, that just to wrap it up?
I could go for at least 8 more hours. When I start massaging, when I would massage my dad, who lived to be 97 years old, and I would massage his shoulders like this, and he'd say, "I'll give you 3 hours to quit that." You know why he said that? Because it felt so good. And we didn't talk about that in this program, but you can do it for your friends and for your family and for your lover, and it can enhance your life. It is such a great feeling to know how to do it for yourself. I show it to my daughter. She's able to get to sleep at night. When she goes in the car and has, just some, motion sickness or seasickness, she presses this point. Here it is, another point. This is called the inner gate. It's 3 finger widths from the wrist crease. I can't help but teach this. You'll see it on my page in Facebook. Right now, I'll show you in 4 minutes on a video, free. What do you do? Go to Facebook, go to acupressure points. That's me. Anyways, blessings to you. I hope that you've enjoyed, and I hope that you feel stimulated, inspired to learn more, so that you can discover the benefits.
Oh, thank you, Michael. I definitely feel inspired. I know this is of enormous value to anybody who is with us live now or watching in the future. So yeah, Acupressure Points will link to that Facebook page, and we'll link to Michael's website, acupressure.com, and you can get access to those videos. I just put a link through my website at revisit.healthcare.com/Michael. And yeah, all great ways to get in touch with you. I'm inspired to learn more about this. So thank you for lighting a fire in me to really learn more so I can help my friends and family.